think about people you can work with. Issue number one, what traits of workability are you talking about?
First of all, it's somebody that is smart. Secondly, it's somebody that will challenge ideas in an appropriate way. And what I mean by that is that one of the biggest problems that I see people getting into is when they surround themselves with folks that won't ever say, hey, this is not a very good idea.
That's really stupid.
Yeah, and I will tell you that it's great to have Beth, who there's probably 4 things that she said, Mark, these are things you really probably don't want to put in your speech, and in an appropriate way without, there's an appropriate way to challenge, and you understand. And thirdly, somebody that is just good to the rest of the staff. And what I mean by that is that my philosophy of employers is there is no hierarchy. When we ran our elder care facilities, the first thing that I would do when I came, I don't even want you to print this because it sounds too, Mother Teresa-ish, but I would clean the bathrooms. And I would do that so that our employees would understand that I felt like every job that everybody had there was as important as my job. And even though
It's not a toilet neuroses or anything?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not that.
Excellent.
I don't want somebody who thinks that they are so darn important that they can push people around. For somebody to step in immediately, they're going to have a pretty good knowledge of state government. So that excludes a lot of people. I mean, there are people out there that are running companies or principals of high schools or junior highs or in a variety of sectors that with the proper training and probably a fairly short period of training would be able to eventually be governor. But it would take time. And the problems that we have right now are so pressing in terms of the budget, in terms of our opportunities and energy and other areas, that I really don't want to bring somebody along who for 6 or 8 months has to try to figure this place out.
Democrat in the legislature.
Well, that would certainly be a possibility, but there would be other Democrats that either have been in the legislature or who have been an active enough part of the process.
Or literally part of state government now, who are Democrats.
That they would meet that criteria.
How has politics changed since you were in the State House? I talked to John Carlin. He says it's changed a lot. People are angry. People are more partisan. I don't think he would like being there.
Right. Unfortunately, when I came in 1990, the turn had already taken place. So I heard all the stories about how great it was in the past. But what's changed it so dramatically is the way that we fund our campaigns. The way that we fund our campaigns is such that folks come into the legislature thinking that they're in the middle, like most Kansans are in the middle on most issues. But if you don't support the constituencies that support your party, you're in trouble. And so there's a natural tendency for people to get driven either very far to the left or very far to the right. And then they start getting nasty and start arguing and yelling, and there's no question that it's more partisan now than it was in 1990, but the stories that I hear about the 60s and the 70s and 80s, I think it was much more cordial. The local chambers of commerce in the state are great, and before I was elected lieutenant governor, I was president of our Shawnee area chamber of commerce, and then I was president of the 6 chambers of commerce in Johnson County, all of whom at various times have supported tax increases, and all of whom I bet are up here today opposing the current version of the House budget. The state chamber is very, very conservative. I disagree with the approach of the state chamber on a variety of issues. I believe that ultimately the way to grow business in our state is not just to create a good business climate, and that's a part of it. Taxes are a part of it, but it's also to create a great quality of life. Businesses and people move to Kansas because we have great schools and because we have great roads. When I go out on a business call for the Department of Commerce, the CEOs who are thinking about moving here invariably ask me about our schools, because they know when they move here, their kids are going to end up going to our schools, and they're very impressed with what we have. There are many companies who need great roads. You know, any ag-related company, any energy-related company, they need great roads. Well, great roads cost money, which require taxes. So I love all the local chambers. I hope to develop a better relationship with the State Chamber of Commerce.